Hey everybody, Dee here from D is for Digital. Hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you're tuning in from. We are continuing our influencer masterclass series, and today we're going to talk about how you design and build a brand as an influencer. Your brand is everything. And one thing I love about brands is you don't have to try really hard to have one, because you have one whether you like it or not. Even if you were never to be a business or never become an influencer, every person has a brand. Our brand is, they say, what people say behind our backs, or when we're not in the room, how people describe us is effectively our brand. But if you're going to be an online influencer, if you already have a business and you want to have more influence as a business, more customers, you have to be concerned about your brand. So I wanted to cover today some key steps that will help you consider how you build and design your brand. And the first thing is deciding your foundations. And by that I mean, where is your brand going to be online? Now, many people when they're starting out think they need to be everywhere. So I need to be on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and YouTube and LinkedIn and all the things. Whereas you don't really have to be at all. And there are very few brands that are absolutely everywhere. So I wanted you to consider, where are your customers? Where are your fans? Where are your followers? You want to be as an influencer where they are. So rather than coming from a place of where do I think I need to be and I need to be everywhere, put it out to the customer first. So external to inwards. Where are my people? Where are my tribe? Where are my fans? So that I'm going to show up in those places. And I would encourage you to start one place rather than start trying to be everywhere, because the more you focus and get your foundations really strong from the beginning, the quicker you will grow and the more compelling your brand will be. Because it's natural. If you try to be everywhere, you water down your impact across all of these social media channels. Whereas if you decide, look, I'm going to be on Instagram. That's where my people are. I'm going to go hard and go home. I'm going to focus all my attention just on Instagram. You're already going to do a better job, because you're focusing all of your time, attention, energy, resources into one specific place. And that's what I mean about building strong foundations. If you build weak foundations across multiple things, then it'll all fall down. So one, maybe two, maybe you're going to do Instagram and Facebook because it's going to be the same kind of content. Your people are in the same place. It's all the same thing really now, all owned by Facebook. That's okay. If you're B2B, maybe it'll just be LinkedIn and possibly Twitter. If you're doing a lot of video content, it might be YouTube and Facebook or TikTok, right? But you want to start building your foundations where the majority of your customers, fans, followers are, and focus all of your attention on doing that really well, rather than I can get it why people would think, if I'm in more places, I have more chance of getting more followers or, more engagement. But actually, that's not how it works out. Every different social media platform requires not totally different not totally different content, but a different approach. What you post on Facebook isn't exactly the same as what you post on LinkedIn. And particularly when you're starting it out, you want to keep things simple for yourself. Build your foundation strong, but keep it easy. So one, no more than 2 platforms to focus on. Once you've got those right, then you can go everywhere. Go in it wherever you want, but start out by keeping it small. And also, once you've decided what platforms you're going to focus on, let's say you're just going to focus on Instagram, your next thing is to create some very, very clear, specific goals for what you're trying to achieve, okay? And this is in relation to your brand. So your goals could be increasing your number of fans or followers. It could be the amount of views. It could be engagement. It could be how much content you're putting out there. It could be getting a brand sponsorship. It could be doing videos and stories. I mean, you have so many potential KPIs, key performance indicators. But what's the most important thing that you want to achieve as a brand in the short term? Now, certainly when I was starting out, I wanted to reach as many people as I could, but I didn't want to reach everybody, because not everybody's going to be interested in what I do. Not everyone needs what I do. So I was quite specific. I wanted to increase my fan base, but in these kind of people that were really interested in what I do and engaged. I'm not about having a whole lot of followers that never say anything to me and I never talk to, because that's not a business and that's not how you monetize yourself as a personal brand and as an influencer. But you need to get specific on your goals so that you know what you're going to focus on. Because if you're going to focus on growing fan base, there's a certain set of activities that come after that. If you're focusing on getting great at putting out brilliant, engaging content, then that's another different set of activities. If your goal is to get a brand sponsorship or a big deal, that's another set of activities. So I want you to be super clear and specific about what does success look like to you in the first 3-6 months of doing this work, because then you can channel all of your energy into those specific goals again, rather than trying to do everything and being maybe average across all. Pick 1 or 2 really great goals that support what you want to achieve and focus all of your energy there so that you have better achievement, right? So because you need to be focused. Now, another thing that I highly recommend that you do, and this is whether you're starting out or you're already established, it's researching what already works well. So if you were a personal brand, your social media influencer, it's just you, I would be doing a whole lot of research on people. So if you're on Instagram, who are the influencers on Instagram? Who are the influencers in Instagram who do the same kind of stuff as you do? Which are the ones that are doing really well? What kind of content are they putting out? How often are they putting out? What does it look like? What are their stories like? What kind of engagement do they have with their fans? What questions are their fans asking? How often do they respond? I mean, I would want to look at the models for who are doing this really, really well already, and learn from those that have gone ahead of you. You don't have to recreate everything. There are very particular business models for success online. It's not rocket science, and all those who are doing well are following the same models. And you will find it's consistent content, it's engaging with your customers, it's engaging personally on interactions, it's being highly interactive, it's listening, it's all the things that I'm going to cover here. But you want to look at those that have gone before you so that you don't make their mistakes. Learn from them. So do a lot of research, particularly on the brands that you want to emulate, the influencers that you want to be like, the brands that are already talking to your audience, your fan base, because that will accelerate your results. It's like an intensive course that you can do in hours rather than taking months and years to learn this and sort of trying to wing it yourself. Go and learn from others who have gone before you. And once you've done that, so you know what social media you're on, you've done all your research, you know what you're doing, you know your goals, so you know what you want to achieve. Then it's about showing up as you, right? Whether you're an individual as an influencer or a company as a brand, you need to be authentic. You need to use your authentic voice. There is no point in me turning up on my social media and trying to be something I'm not. And often when we're starting out, we feel this whole imposter syndrome, like we're not good enough, and why would anybody listen to me, and I need to be different in order to be successful or liked or famous, whatever. But that's totally wrong. The best influencers are very original, they're very authentic, they're very real. They use their own voice because they are the brand of their business. So I suppose, what do I want to say? I want to tell you to trust yourself, that you are more than enough already, that there is a demand for your voice. And even though there may be millions of other influencers in the space that you want to be in, your voice is unique, and that's what will make you special. That's what is going to attract people to you, because there are loads of influencers in my space. Some of them, I don't know, some of them I don't like, not because they're bad people, but because maybe their focus is different, or their values are different, or what's important to them is different, how they articulate themselves is different. That's cool. My customers will be attracted to me for lots of different reasons, whether it's how I operate, my directness in my coaching, the kind of content I put out there. There's room for all of us to be successful, but to be really, I think, compelling, to be original, you need to be you, because you are an original. So make sure that you're using your own voice. If you try to be something that you're not, your followers will pick that up. It's easy to know when someone isn't being their authentic selves. So be you. You're fabulous already. Just do you. Then it's about maintaining consistency. I talk about this a lot during this influencer series. When you're posting your content, you need to be strategic and you need to be consistent. Strategic, I mean, are you posting content that your customers and fans and followers want to hear? There's no point in posting content that you think is interesting, even though it might be the same as what your customers want, which is great, but sometimes it's not. You need to be very strategic, understand your customers so that you're posting content that supports your brand, that helps you achieve your goals, and then do that consistently. Doing it consistently helps build trust with your fan base. Because if you're only posting once a week or once a month, then your fans can't rely on you to be there. If you're serious about this, this is about daily production of high quality strategic content that your fan base, that your customers want to see and hear and experience. So it's about being strategic and it's about being consistent. And it's also about listening to your followers. I know that much of my success early on in my business was because I went out to my potential fan base, to the people who were following me, and I asked them what they wanted. One, it was just so much easier than having to try and work out myself what content I needed to provide, what did people want to hear, what should I be doing. I went out to my customers and I said, what do you want? What are your problems? What are your dreams? What are your goals? What kind of content are you missing that you would love to see but haven't seen already? You know, what interests you? And I listened to them. It's about listening to your followers, because you'll wreck your head every day trying to work out what am I meant to post about today, because it can become really hard if you just rely on yourself to be the inspiration of all of this content. But when you listen to your customers, it makes it so much easier because they will tell you what they want. If you watch the kind of questions that they ask you, what sort of commentary is going on under your posts, there will be no shortage of inspiration for you, because you always have your ear to the most important people, who are your followers and your customers. And that's how you basically build a brand. So be clear on your foundations, particularly if you're starting out, 1 or 2 social media platforms. Focus all of your attention there. Be really, really clear on your goals. What is it that you're trying to achieve? Look at the others that have gone before you, especially those that are in your niche. What are they doing really well? How many things are they posting? What kind of content is going on there? What's the look and feel of it? And use as much of that. Learn from those that have gone ahead of you, right? Talk to your customers, be strategic in your content, and be consistent. Keep your ear to the ground and you will be good. And that's it. Easy peasy. Just get started. And like I said, you are already a brand. If you're listening to this, you're going, I'm not interested in being an influencer or any of that brand stuff. You already have a brand. If you're a living human creature, there's a brand, because people will have opinions on you, which means you have a brand. So why not monetize it? Why not use it for good? But I am dying to hear what you do. So if you have any comments, if you're doing any work on your brands, feel free to share your Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever links below. I love to check them out. And if you have any questions, particularly if you're starting out and you're not sure, well, I don't know what goal I should set myself, or I don't know how I should even start my research, just reach out. Ask any questions that you want. I'm always here to help. In the meantime, have a fabulous day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.